Who is this player? Is it Nico, Spinks, maybe even Rops? Well, it's actually none of these players. This is lauNX, and he is 17 years old playing for Sprout. It's a name that most of you have probably not heard of, but I personally believe that he will start making his mark in the upcoming season with the new Sprout lineup. Today I'm going to discuss the history of lauNX, why I think he's a great player, and why Sprout may be the next dark horse of the upcoming season. lauNX first appeared in the scene on a little known team called UDP Romania, and as you can guess, the team consisted of a 5-man Romanian roster, including a 15-year-old lauNX. The team only ever played 5 recorded maps together according to Wikipedia, but this would not be the last time we see lauNX. In March of 2021, lauNX would join Infinite Gaming. This was another Romanian roster which at the time was considered to be one of the better regional teams. While lauNX had a longer stint on this team and another smaller organisation known as Game Agents, lauNX would really be gaining success in professional CSGO on a team known as Nexus Gaming. Nexus Gaming was, and still is, considered one of the better teams in Romania. This was a fantastic breakout period for lauNX, who, while starting off slow, would eventually become the highest rated player on the lineup. During the last 6 months on the lineup, lauNX would average a 1.15 rating and was clearly the best player on the team at the time. On the 10th of May 2022, Sprout announced that they had signed lauNX from Nexus Gaming, and while I will go into Sprout a little bit later, let's just say that lauNX has been a fantastic addition with some of the highest potential I've seen in a long time. So what makes lauNX so good? The thing about lauNX is that he's extremely good on T-sides. This is usually pretty rare for up-and-coming players, especially in this current meta, as most players seem to find their kills on the CT side. As far as Tier 2 European CSGO is concerned, lauNX is an extremely dangerous T-sided player. lauNX is extremely good on T-sides because he has an excellent read on the game, and knows how to catch timings and find kills. This is a skill that not many players actually possess, and it leads to lauNX becoming the most impactful player for Sprout. Since joining the team, lauNX has the highest amount of multi-kills, the most kills, the highest KD, the second most opening kills, and is the highest rated player on the lineup. Something that surprised me about lauNX when watching demos for this video is that, as well as having an innate ability to read the game, he also has very good fundamentals. He is almost never caught unaware, he never misses his nade, he has solid mechanics in terms of aim and movement, and one of the biggest things that I love about lauNX is that he takes initiative. lauNX will take every advantage and multiply it. This is why he has so many multi-kills. lauNX brings back unfavorable situations and snowballs them into leads. This is extremely valuable and is reminiscent of a player such as Nico in the early days of Mousespots, for example. Something that I want to add real quick is that while I think that lauNX can succeed as a star player, I also think that he might be well suited to being a sort of X-Factor player. Think in terms of Bit from Na'Vi or Rain from FaZe, Hobbit from Cloud9. These are all players that play their role extremely well and have the potential to completely change the game. This is the type of player that I think lauNX could be, and he has solid fundamentals to do his role well enough. But he also has the potential to completely take over a game as a star player. To further emphasize my point, let's take a look at a play made by lauNX. I want to highlight this play where lauNX spots a player at quad on B-site Vertigo. Now, notice the way that Sprout set up this kill with the timing of the Molotov and the flash to force Forrester out of position, then disable him from being able to find a kill. A small detail here, but an important one, lauNX is aware of the setup that Entropic is running. He doesn't overextend because he knows that with a player at quad on B-site, Entropic is likely running a 2-man setup towards the site, so he waits for the utility to come in from his team before advancing. After making some progress onto the site, lauNX jumps up on double and is able to spot Heaven, and quickly after he is able to make an info play spotting out Mir playing close around the smokes. Now, pushing this smoke here seems like a very risky play, but it's actually a very calculated risk. Let me explain. First, notice how lauNX did not spot anyone at Heaven before spotting Mir close to the smoke, so he knows that this is an isolated duel, at least for now. Also, think about this situation from Entropic's point of view. Entropic know that Mir is playing close around this generator position. This gives a sense of security for Entropic players in that the area behind generator should be clear. This is precisely what lauNX takes advantage of. Based on the positioning of the reload sound for Mir, lauNX takes the chance to walk through the smoke, and because he understands the situation from Entropic's point of view, he is able to find an additional 2 kills thanks to both his game sense and great aim. As of me creating this video, Sprout recently announced that they were adding refrezh, previously of Heroic, and zyphon, who was recently playing for Copenhagen Flames. Refrezh has the potential to add a lot of needed experience and stability to the roster, and is a great upgrade overall. Zyphon is slightly more questionable in my opinion, but it's still a minor upgrade from Spitty in the support role. Overall, the roster looks very solid, and I think this iteration of the roster is a great opportunity for lauNX to prove himself to be a star player. I believe that lauNX in the next couple of seasons is going to prove himself to be a rising star with massive untapped potential.